All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. It's panel time, and joining us on the panel today, Julio Rivera, Newsmax insider, conservative activist, and host of the Julio Rivera Show on Lanterns Radio Network, and Jim Hoft, founder of thegatewaypundit.com, conservative blogger and investigative reporter. Gentlemen, I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. Welcome aboard. I want to start with a soundbite, a video of Simone Sanders. No relation to Bernie, but she was his spokesperson during the campaign. And I want you to get a load of what she said on CNN the other day, a network for which I believe she works. Watch.
I think Keith Ellison is great. I have worked with him. He is he is a fighter, and he's committed to the issues. But Howard Dean, Howard Dean was there for that 50-state strategy, but here's the issue. Howard Dean is also on record maligning young people and millennials, telling those Bernie folks they just need to get in line, and maligning Bernie Sanders, and that is not what we need. In my opinion, we don't need white people leading the Democratic Party right now. The Democratic Party is diverse, and it should be reflected as so in our leadership and throughout the staff at the highest levels, from the vice chairs to the secretaries, all the way down to the people working in the offices at the DNC.
Basically, this, in my view, racist, just said, and that's fine with me. If you want to destroy the Democratic Party, please make Keith Ellison the chairman and kick all the white people out. But basically, she just said, not only shouldn't the Democratic Party be led by white people, she said from the top all the way down, no white people. I mean, Julio, wow. And CNN, no problem. She's still there. She's been back all weekend. She doubled down on what she said. I guess it's okay to be a black racist, in my opinion.
Well, apparently at CNN, perhaps. I mean, listen, first of all, from the top down of the Democrat Party, if you're going to put somebody like Keith Ellison, who's an anti-Semite, you know, somebody who reveres Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, if you want to put him in charge, and I can understand if you have a problem with Howard Dean. Listen, Howard Dean is a wacko. He's the one that accused Donald Trump of being a cokehead after the first debate. So, I mean, you know, you don't want Howard Dean running your party. I understand that. But to say that we don't need white people running this party, or to try to exclude white people, and it's funny because this is the party supposedly of social justice, but they're pushing racism down all of our throats. It's very anti-white. They're going to alienate the largest portion of the largest segment of the voting bloc. So if they want to do that, sure, destroy the Democrat Party from the inside out. But, you know, blanket racism is not good in any party. And the fact that somebody on CNN, which is a large, you know, national news network, the fact that she gets to go on there and parade her racist views around is despicable, deplorable.
So, Jim, what would happen if a Trump supporter or conservative pundit who works for a network were to say on CNN, on Fox, anywhere, Donald Trump shouldn't appoint black people to his cabinet? Look, he only got 8% of the black vote. We don't need black people in the cabinet. Oh, my God. But CNN, as far as I could tell, she's still there. I haven't heard an apology. I haven't heard of a suspension or a fine or a reprimand. Nothing.
It's unbelievable, Steve, isn't it? And I really want to join that party now after they are dropping lines like that. This is a party that just lost several Midwest Rust Belt states because of the white vote, the white working class who went towards Donald Trump. And so what do? They have this racist out there saying that they don't want white people in the party anymore. Well, we'll take them in the GOP. We're open to everybody. It's a big tent.
Unbelievable. All right. I don't know that there's a big enough tent for this guy, but I'm so glad that his team lost to the Dolphins in Miami yesterday. It was such sweet justice where he was booed. Colin Kaepernick, who again took a knee, but worse than that, earlier in the week, at the press conference, he had on a Malcolm X T-shirt, but earlier in the week, there it is, he had on a Castro T-shirt. And he was going to play Miami. This was before Castro died. And, Jim, as you have on your website, gatewaypundit.com, they booed the heck out of Colin Kaepernick, the 1-10 quarterback, by the way, 1 win, 10 losses with the Niners before the game, and he deserved it all.
Absolutely. And what sweet justice at the end of the game. Kaepernick was tackled on the 2-yard line. He couldn't score, and he was tackled by a football player whose father was a Cuban dissident who escaped Cuba. So what sweet justice. But this clown Kaepernick, if you heard some of the statements he made too, they're just so unbelievably naive and stupid. This guy lecturing kids, and people are looking up to him, and he's talking about how great the education system is and the healthcare, and says nothing about the torture, the murders, the thousands of people who died in the Gulf trying to get away from that island paradise, tried to escape to America. We don't even know how many people died trying to escape that place. Yeah. It's just a disgrace, this guy.
You know, Julio, unfortunately, it's nothing much different than the media has said. And I'm going to do a Give Me Five on this later. Nothing much different than the media has said over the many, many years. Nothing much different than Congressman Charlie Rangel and others have said in their embrace of this murderous thug, dictator, tyrant.
Yeah, you know, it's said that there have been over 3,500 military-style executions of dissidents since the Castro regime took over. You get all these celebrities and athletes that want to sit there and praise this. They've never lived under these conditions. You get these college students that want to sit there and romanticize socialism. And the fact of the matter is they didn't let people off of that island because they didn't want people to know the truth. If you believe those phony literacy rates and what they say about their socialized medicine program, you're out of your mind. You know what I hope? I hope Kaepernick this week wears a Raul Castro t-shirt. Maybe he wears a Kim Jong-un t-shirt. Let's see if there's maybe a connection to him wearing their t-shirts and these people dropping dead.
Just incredible. And then we have our own president who gave Cuba this bargain of a deal where they get everything, and the United States and the rest of the world and the people of Cuba get nothing. And Donald Trump tweeted out today, let's put that up, if Cuba is unwilling to make a better deal for the Cuban people, the Cuban American people, and the U.S. as a whole, I will terminate the deal. And that's what another story you have at the gatewaypundit.com, Jim. And you know, bravo for Donald Trump. This is insane. You know, today a JetBlue plane flew from JFK to Cuba, and I was driving into work and listening on one of the all-news stations, and you would have thought that man was landing on the moon. I mean, every step, oh, the plane is on the runway. Oh, the plane is delayed. Oh, the doors are shutting. Oh, it's beginning to taxi. Oh, I mean, who cares?
Yeah, how sad. I mean, and you're absolutely right, Steve. The people there get nothing. They're still living in poverty. I had heard some statistics that they make about 50 cents a month or something. I mean, just it's rife with poverty, and these liberals are celebrating a plane landing so people can go enjoy the beaches, and the Castro regime can make some more billions of dollars. It's just disgusting. Yeah. So good for Donald Trump. There's a new sheriff coming in.
Julio, I mean, thank God that Trump, can you imagine if we had Hillary, and this is just one example. I mean, she would do more. She would give more to Cuba. I mean, all the other things. Every time there's something that happens, I say, oh, my gosh, thank goodness it's not Hillary. But bravo to Trump for saying definitely. He's going to undo what Obama did by circumventing Congress. He did it, by the way, unless Cuba, you know, does something in return.
Exactly, and you saw Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz, and I believe even Bob Menendez were upset.
Yes, the Democrat from New Jersey, yes.
Exactly, they were upset because they understand the human rights abuses that are occurring there. And, you know, you had a regime that's poor, the country's falling apart. You know, what you don't do is you don't enrich or embolden, you know, because you're basically at that point, you're helping them commit these atrocities against their own people because you're strengthening them economically. You know, at this point, you know, and listen, I'm not into nation building and we got to go in there and take over and things like that. But when you're having human rights abuses on our hemisphere here, 90 miles away from Florida, it almost makes you think like you got to do something. I mean, you know, I'm not going, you know, about let's go in there and take it over, but I mean, if things don't change there immediately, I feel like I would love to see this administration take action against their government.
Jim, another story you have on Gateway Pundit is Donald Trump's claim today that he would have won the popular vote if it weren't for the millions of illegals who voted. The media has been raking him over the coals. We only have a minute left, but True the Vote, the nation's largest leading voters' rights and election integrity organization, says Trump's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a group that's been persecuted under the Obama regime. And now we know why, because they've been focusing on voter fraud in America and cleaning up the voter rolls. And they agree with Donald Trump that there's potentially millions of people voting in our national election who are either illegal or felons or dead people. And so they're supporting Donald Trump in his statement.
Yeah. Julio and Jim, thank you both very much. Always great to talk to both of you, and we will speak to you again very soon. Up next, folks, my interview earlier today on America Talks Live, which, by the way, a show I do noon Eastern Time right here on Newsmax TV. I hope you'll tune in, with Roger Stone. We talked about Secretary of State Kellyanne Conway, Hillary supporting the recount effort, and I think you're going to enjoy a lot of the things that he has to say. They are eye-openers. As usual, you're not going to want to miss it.